Hey folks, I'm Merrick Broderick. I'm here at the Winooski School District at the People's Summit, and I believe that this event is an amazing opportunity and an amazing gathering of folks representing tons of organizations. I'm right here at the table for the Democratic Socialists of America and the United Electric Workers, and this is just an incredible gathering of people representing movements and organizations for tons of causes, from Palestine to labor to migrant justice, and this is what our movement needs to be like. This is one struggle. This is tons of people working together in concert to achieve the world that we are looking for, and I think that's amazing. So thank you.
This organizing the People Summit, the reason for it is because the government are not serving the people, and the government taking the people's right, if it is the civil rights for people of colors or the rights of the laborers, and of course for us, the Palestinian Solidarity Group, we are feeling we are losing our freedom of speech and the First Amendment rights. So we came over here as people to unite together and to fight a government that doesn't respect the people and doesn't serve the people. So for that, I think Burlington going to and Vermont in general going to be a pioneer for a movement where the people can say what they want and to what direction and how to be governed. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Joining us for this final plenary this evening. My name is Elizabeth Dunford. I am a proud union member of Union Staff United and a member of the Vermont May Day Coalition team. That coalition helped plan May Day 2025 this year, Labor Day 2025, and now the People's Summit and beyond. Thank you to every single person, 275 people in fact, that came out today as fellow unionists. As fellow unionists, activists, and resistors while we face the existential threats of Donald Trump and the billionaire class. There is so much at stake, and there is so much to win. Fighting against these forces is going to take a lot of long-term work, but we all have a collective future that is worth struggling for. And it has been so heartening seeing everyone building resistance in real tangible ways today at the summit. We need those skills so that our hopes for a future free of oppression, degradation, and injustice can be a reality. We have a really excellent final closing panel for you today, covering topics ranging from Palestine solidarity, attacks on Medicaid and the poor, and the need for a general strike that necessitates a working class resistance that every single one of us in this room must organize towards. Before we get to this final closing plenary, I do have a couple of housekeeping notes. Firstly, thank you to everyone who joined us in making the People's Summit actually happen. This kind of event requires engaged participation. We'd also like to thank every single social organization, political organization, and union who endorsed this event. Such a wide base of groups came together in support of the People's Summit, sharing information with their members, flying all over at a ton of different events, posting on social media, and showing up to our organizing committee meetings. Thank you to every volunteer and organizer here today who kept the event running so smoothly. Additionally, thank you to the Winooski Education Association, us in their workplace. And as a final quick thank you to Matt Guile, the librarian right here at the school, who really made all of this possible. Secondly, if you are able to, please donate to the Vermont Mayday Strong Coalition. This money goes towards paying the many fees incurred for these kinds of events and will help us continue our organizing efforts in the future to Mayday 2026 and beyond. Lastly, the Vermont Mayday Strong Coalition will be holding a meeting at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 11th at the Migrant Justice Office in Burlington. Please come to this meeting as we organize and plan next steps on the way to Mayday 2026. We need you there. With that, I want to introduce our esteemed speakers for this closing plenary. We have Wafic from the Vermont Coalition for Palestinian Liberation. Do you want to go ahead and come on up, FaRied? Or not FaRied, sorry. Wafic.
Thank you. I will start by saying, an injury to one is an injury to all. Injury to one is an injury to all. Injury to one is an injury to all. Assalamu alaikum. I will start by a note. There is never in history that a city forced an imperial power and 20 other Zionist countries around it to come all together to sign a ceasefire. Gaza did that. Gaza did that because it has all the warmth, the support that we felt it from around the world. And from here, from Vermont, we work around the clock to give support to our families over there. But we discovered that this country is a racist country when it comes to the right of the Palestinians, and they try to silence us, as you remember, when Free Palestine became anti-Semitic slogan. Freedom of speech, it was the litmus test, and Palestine is the litmus test if this country is a democracy or a dictatorship, and we see the second. We go to many rallies recently. Most of it have been organized just because Trump is a president and he's taking our rights, taking the civil rights, playing as a king or dictator. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they see us wearing kufiya or carrying Palestinian flags, majority of them, we call them liberal white American, they feel dismayed to see such signs for Palestine. We have to remind them, it doesn't mean if Trump leaves that our rights will come automatically with the Democratic Party. We're going to judge both on the same scale, and we're going to vote, and we're going to rally until we get our right, all of us. All of us. It is surprising that 77% of the Democratic Party, they called what happened in Palestine, Israel, a genocide. 59% of the country, too. Those are the people. As a matter of fact, Vermont Coalition for Palestinian Liberation discovered that long before. Yeah. 2 years ago, we challenged them. We went against the tide, and we challenged them that the people can speak about it. And we won, and we will win. in apartheid-free community, it is not only about Palestine, about the question of racism here and abroad. Apartheid is one of them. For that, we are calling all the unions, all the people who want to work for peace. Do you like peace? Yeah. Do you want peace? Yeah. Yeah, but you have to recognize what is the problem over there. It's on top of occupation, of genocide, of starvation. There is a case of apartheid that only American, if they decided to push for peace, they have to decide what to do in their municipalities. And we have to make Vermont the first state apartheid-free community. We cannot do that without understanding what kind of liberation we want to work on here at home. Without collective liberation, without remembering the indigenous people, the black and brown people, without working together with our migrants, with our families of LGBTQ, and of course, with our neighbors, we will never win. Not any of us will win. So we'll say again, injury to one is injury to all. Injury to one is injury to all. Injury to one is injury to all.
Thank you, Wafic. Up next, we have FaRied Munarsyah from the People's Kitchen and Vermont Workers Center, who also provided us our wonderful lunch today.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for coming, and thank you for having me here. My name is FaRied. I am a member of the Vermont Workers Center and a project coordinator for the People's Kitchen Project. We usually distribute food. We have a weekly distribution in the south end of Burlington every Friday. We also are downtown at City Hall Park 3 nights of the week. We're providing hunger relief for mostly our homeless neighbors, but also anybody who wants food. And last night is one of our regular distro night. And we showed up there. When we showed up there, it was around 10 o'clock. There were 10 police cruisers downtown. And one of the homeless folks were out on the street having been knocked out by the cops. I don't know if you have seen recently, Phil Scott issued this directive about what to do about Burlington's problem and how he's going to help us. And among them is like stronger enforcement. Yeah. And this is the best they can do. We see Phil Scott about 3 months ago refusing to extend the motel voucher program, actually causing the homelessness issue that Burlington have been dealing with to worsen. Yep. We saw kids now living on the street. We saw people who were on wheelchairs. We regularly serve food. And for Phil Scott to come out and say, this is Burlington's own doing, even though it obviously he has a huge role in it, it's just enraging to me. And so the People's Kitchen Project, as well as our siblings, the Food Not Cops, BTP Cop Watch, we are out there on the streets. We're talking to our neighbors. We know that homeless folks, they're the poorest of them all in this society. And they are actually being used to discipline the working class. Yep. This is what they use like homelessness for. Being homeless is not a crime, but homelessness actually is a crime. It's a systemic crime. Yep. It's being committed and perpetrated on our class by people in power. as part of the Worker Center, I think it's important for us to recognize that mutual aid, though it's very important, and we need to do that. We need to be able to connect with people and actually provide help to each other. It will only provide relief for whatever it is that we need, hunger, homelessness, and poverty. But to eradicate hunger and to actually house everybody, we need to organize. We need to take it beyond the direct action of mutual aid, but by connecting it to all the others. It doesn't really matter. Like, pick your issues; they're all connected. And for the Vermont Worker Center, one of our major campaigns right now is the Nonviolent Medicaid Army. Now, when I first heard the name of the campaign, I was like, let me join the Violent Medicaid Army. I'm just done like thinking it. I wish we're not doing this shit like after all these years, right? So, but the more I think about it, it's by no means like, and I'm no pacifist. Like as a Muslim, like like self-defense is not even a right; it's an obligation. The defense of our community, that's an obligation. That's not a right. And so, what that name suggests actually is putting like the spotlight that the violence is from the system. Yes. Hunger is violence. Homelessness is violence. Poverty and misery, that's violence. And we are just out there defending ourselves. We're defending our community by providing relief to those who are hungry and some shelter to those who are unsheltered. But I think what's really important is just to keep remembering, like sometimes the best defense is a good offense. And America, I'm an immigrant, like we always were suspicious of America, but here's the thing that I always remember, that it's not just the Trumps and the Charlie Kirks of the world. It's also, in America, it's also the John Brown and the Mother Jones, it's the Malcolm X, and it's all you all. So, and I think the best weapon that we have, it is a nonviolent one. It's actually, how do we get everybody to do nothing for a day, for a week, right? How do we do that? In general, just like, don't participate. In general, go on strike. So, I think, we know the new world is possible, but a new America is necessary, and I think Vermont can lead the way.
Thank you so much, FaRied. Last but not least, we have Andy Blanchett, who's president of AFSCME 1674.
Thanks, everybody. Really excited to be up here today. I just want to say, kind of before I get into my spiel, and I forgot my notes, sorry, is that the breakout sessions today were amazing. Yeah. They were excellent. And I just want to shout out to the people who thought of the topics, who then went ahead and did the work and organized around what are we going to do during these sessions. Those were incredibly productive, and that is the exact reason why we're out in the streets and we're, practicing for what I'm going to talk about, which is ideally a general strike in ideally 2 years or sooner. When we are out there practicing, it's important to then go inside with people who are thinking the same way you are, and then actually plan out next steps. And I just want to give a round of applause to everybody here who took time out of your Saturday for 10 hours to do that. So well done. So, FaRied, you did a great job segueing into my topic. I just want to say that was excellent. And I kind of want to talk a little bit today about the working class and kind of what do I mean by that. And when people are saying, we just need to general strike, what are people actually talking about, right? Because I think people throw that around and they are, first of all, correct, and I agree 100%. And Kristen Warner earlier today during her training, who is a seasoned 20-year labor organizer, organized nurses out in Las Vegas for a long time, said it very well today, where that's a great idea, but I don't know if people are always thinking about how much work that is. And I want to make sure that we kind of understand today, when people are calling for a general strike, that is not something you're going to see on social media that says, take work off on Friday, and then hopefully everyone does it, and that's a general strike. That is not a general strike. I want to be clear. A general strike is what got us the New Deal. Right? It got us Social Security. And those things came from, first, workers, right? Working class people organizing, whether through official unions or not, right? Sometimes they wouldn't be recognized as unions, but they acted like one. And that is important. When you work together through your collective energy to decide to withhold your labor, that in and of itself is going to be a lot of work. And you need to work with the people within your economic sphere, right? The people that you work with, who you might not pick as the people who you want to work with, but that's who you're going to see every day. You need to get to know those folks. You need to talk to them. You need to ask them what's important to them, right? We might have great ideas coming out of this conference, but it's important to find out the people who you are talking with, what it is that's important to them. Organizing is listening. Organizing is asking, why does someone think that? And waiting for them to tell you the answer before you tell them your great idea, okay? So when we have successfully demonstrated general strikes in the past, what we've done is we've done that work really, really, really well. We have gotten to know our coworkers extremely well. We have practiced striking for what we need in our workplaces, for example. We have done that repeatedly. That's how you build up to a general strike, which is going to be more than just the people in your direct workplace deciding to withhold our labor to get what we need from this administration, or any administration, I might add. We should be prepared to do this at any time. And I think a really good example of folks who are currently practicing to do this well would be San Francisco educators. I am assuming, because I'm looking out and I see a lot of people I know, that most people are aware of this, but in case you're not, San Francisco educators recently threatened to shut down the city, essentially, by striking if Trump went through with his threat to send in the National Guard to San Francisco. Almost immediately, with the threat, Trump said, never mind, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And I think that story is both inspiring and informative, and it is inspiring because Trump and the other ghouls around him, whether they are also Republicans or not, they are banking, they are putting money down that we are going to be too afraid to do jack shit. They are banking on us being extremely vulnerable and deciding we don't want to risk anything. When we show that we will actually step up and call their bluff, they actually show that they are weak-minded individuals. They actually have nothing to stand on. And they have everything to lose, and we have everything to gain. So just to kind of wrap up a little bit of what I'm talking about, because it's a little rambly and I know it's been a long day, I want to emphasize to folks that if you are in a workplace that has a union, the very first step to getting ready for a general strike is organizing with your direct coworkers, getting to know those people extremely well and finding out what is important to them, and perhaps bringing that practice into the bargaining table first. Get that practice and get some wins, right? So people understand that this is possible. You can win when you're able to take action. And then build that up from there and maybe start discussing within your union to your leadership, or if you are a leader, start discussing with fellow members the idea of a general strike. And what would it look like to have to be ready for that? I would also say if you are someone who is unable to be in a union, that does not mean you cannot organize with your coworkers. Yep. You can organize with your coworkers, and you should be organizing with your coworkers at 100%. And finally, if you are someone who is retired, and you're like, well, I want to get involved, but like, I'm not exactly sure I have a lot of influence. I want to just assure you, as a retiree, you have a lot of sway in the state of Vermont. You know, you are someone who would be excellent at joining one of the many social and political organizations that are out there, and getting involved perhaps on electoral politics, because you can get to the State House during lunchtime on the weekday and I can't. So anyway, I just want to share with everybody that everyone in this room is already doing a lot of this work. Shout out to you all. We are all constantly learning from one another, and it's events like this that remind us exactly how much we have to learn, and how much we have left to do. So solidarity forever, and shout out to all of you for coming.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you to everyone in the audience for being here today. Again, just some last minute reminders. One, if you were able to, please donate to continue making these events possible. Two, I will see hopefully everyone in this room at the Migrant Justice Office at 6 p.m. Tuesday, November 11th. And three, if you do want to stay a little bit late and help us clean up, that would be really great, but no pressure. Thank you again for everyone for coming out today. Have a pleasure.
My name's Tev Kelman. I'm here at the People's Summit at Winooski High School. Just got done with a workshop that I was leading with a couple of my co-organizers in Vermont School Workers United. So we are a group of mostly Vermont NEA members who are trying to organize a caucus within Vermont NEA to activate our membership, you know, to really look for opportunities to fight not just for kind of issues directly affecting our members, you know, your wages and benefits issues, but thinking about how we can take some leadership in fighting for democratic values and for the kind of society and communities that our students need to thrive. It's not just about what happens inside the walls of the school. It's also, you know, about having a society where we know that our students and their families won't be kidnapped by agents of the state when they leave school buildings. It's about knowing that we have a society that can provide the basic needs of food and healthcare and housing for families. So yeah, and that's why we're here, and that's why we believe that, you know, organizing within the labor movement to fight for the kinds of the kind of society that we all deserve and that the people of the future certainly deserve.
Hi, I'm Ambrose, a student from the University of Vermont, and we're here at the People's Summit, a collection of organizations coming out to support collective organization, which is something that we've been needing for a while now. We have unions, we have social groups such as Migrant Justice, and just having a community build up is really needed.
And I'm Gary Stewart. I'm Vice President of UE 203 at City Market, the union at City Market, downtown and the South End. And we have decided that we wanted to be part of this, to give our voice and support to building resistance to Trump and his fascist regime.
Thank you.